From the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. We're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online right now and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Time for our We Pick 'em segment. We've got some NFL games, but before we get to that, let's go to the Thunder and the NBA as they travel to Denver Thursday night for a game on TNT. Barry, who you got in this one?
I guess the Thunder. I don't know. If Russell Westbrook's not playing, you have no idea what's going to happen. Russell Westbrook is a wildly erratic player in terms of performance. He'd have some great games, some bad games. He'd play really smart, really dumb. But for whatever reason, when Russell's playing, the rest of the team plays very consistent basketball. When he's out, you don't know what you're going to get. They're 6-4 this year without Westbrook. Sometimes they can't score for 6 minutes. Sometimes they can't stop anybody. You don't know what you're going to get. Last time we saw the Thunder, they were getting whacked by the Jazz. Probably time for them to play well. I'll pick them to win, but who knows what you're going to get.
Well, and I'm going to go with Denver just because it's a road game, and the Thunder has been so inconsistent, but it's strictly because it's a road game. And if the Thunder was playing Denver at home, I'd probably pick them to win because, like you say, it's about time they figure something out and play well. This team is going to be frustrating for a while, folks, and you might just go ahead and accept it because it just seems like they're a team totally capable of going behind by 24 and making a game of it, taking a 16-point lead and blowing it. At this point, anything seems possible with this team, and by that, it's not necessarily a good thing. All right, what about these NFL playoff games, Barry? These teams playing not erratically, that's for sure. New Orleans starts things by going to Seattle on Saturday. Who you got in this one?
Well, I've got the Seahawks. The Saints showed us something. They won on the road, first time playoff history for New Orleans. They won on the road at Philadelphia. But let's not pretend that Philly is the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, best record in the NFL, solid defense, winning quarterback in Russell Wilson, unbelievable home field advantage. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think I may pick the Seahawks until further notice. I like what the Seahawks have done this year, and clearly their home field advantage is unbelievable, and that's in large part because of the team they've got. I mean, people talk about great home field advantage, and yeah, their fans are loud and rowdy and crazy, but they've got a really good ball club. So Seahawks, in my mind, win this one, but, New Orleans, I think they're going to make a game of it. Could we possibly see as many good games as we saw last week?
It's going to be difficult.
It is going to be hard, but that could be one right there. We'll see. All right, what about this one, Barry? Indy goes to New England. Who you got in this one?
Well, not the first time this century we've seen Indy at New England. Seems like we see it every year. But a different quarterback for the Colts. Instead of Peyton Manning, it's Andrew Luck, and guess what? It's not a big come down. Now, Andrew Luck throws more interceptions than a vintage Peyton Manning, but you look at the Colts, not great receivers, not a great running game, not a great defense, and yet here they are in the final 8 of the NFL. That's because they got a quarterback that they can rely on in Andrew Luck to get things done. The great comeback against Kansas City, but I'm picking the Patriots. Tom Brady, I think he's just going to be too good. The story that the Patriots have written this year without Wes Welker, without Aaron Hernandez, without Gronkowski, and Tom Brady just keeps getting it done. I think he gets it done another week.
I'm going to go with the Colts in this one. And, I am picking them largely because I think they're emboldened by what happened last week against Kansas City. Barry's right. Not the greatest offense, not the greatest defense, on and on and on you go about things that aren't great about the Colts, but they found a way to win a ball game that they were down by 4 touchdowns in the second half. I think they're going to go to New England and think we can do anything. You know what? I think they're going to do it. All right, what about the Sunday games, Barry? San Francisco heads to Carolina. Talk about games that could potentially be really, really fun to watch.
I think we've seen a new 49er team. I think, last year in the playoffs, Colin Kaepernick was a national sensation. Everybody said the new age quarterback. Then we get to the 2013 season, and he just looks like a normal guy. But it seems apparent that the 49ers had the wraps on him. They were saying, listen, we don't want to kill our quarterback. We want to keep you protected. Don't run so much. Don't scramble so much. Just drop back, throw the ball. When January gets here and we got to win, if you want to run for your life, go ahead. Last Sunday in Green Bay, he runs for his life, beats the Packers. I think he's going to do the same thing to Carolina. I'm taking San Francisco.
This is a tough one to pick, but I'm going to go Carolina. I've liked Carolina all year, getting fantastic play on both sides of the ball. Now, this is new territory for him, and you're obviously going against a 49ers club that has a ton of playoff experience, and Carolina not nearly as seasoned in that way. But being at home, I think that trumps not having the playoff experience. But to me, this is the toughest game to pick. I could have really gone either way and probably argued either way, but I think being at home, Carolina gets a little advantage from that and beats San Francisco. All right, lastly, Barry, on Sunday, San Diego goes to Denver. Who you got in this one?
Well, last week the Chargers seemed clearly the biggest underdog. The one game you pretty sure you knew what was going to happen, and what was going to happen was Cincinnati was going to spank the Chargers. And instead, the Chargers spanked Cincinnati, and every other game went down to the wire. Don't count out the Chargers. They played Denver tough this year. A close win for Denver and a close win for San Diego. But I do think San Diego wins it. I think it's going to be too much to ask a team from the most perfect weather in America to go win in cold weather 2 weeks in a row. That's tough duty, especially when both of those teams are not quarterbacked by Andy Dalton. He only quarterbacked last week. Peyton Manning's at the controls this week. I'll take Denver.
I like Andy Dalton, but he's no Peyton Manning, so I'm going Denver in this one myself. Yeah, I think Peyton Manning and that Denver offense given a chance to take a week off, get a little healthy, get a little mojo, watch a little more film. I think they're going to be ready to go against San Diego. But, the Denver defense has had its struggles this year, and as an underdog, if San Diego gets going again, I think Denver really has to guard against that. You don't want to get them feeling like, hey, we went to Cincinnati a week ago, beat a really good team, beat them bad, we can do it again. You want to dispel all questions about that and knock them down early. So if Denver gets out to a big lead, I think they roll. But, if it's cold out there, San Diego might be a challenge for those guys from San Diego to do it again this week. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.